Communication is a vital aspect of human interaction. It is through communication that we express our thoughts, feelings, and ideas, and it is through communication that we build relationships and establish connections with others. In personal and professional settings, communication is especially important, as it can greatly impact the success of our relationships and the achievement of our goals. When it comes to communication, there are different styles and approaches that people can take. In this video, we will be discussing how to communicate in a masculine way. What does it mean to communicate in a masculine way? How can this type of communication benefit you in your personal and professional life? And what are some tips and strategies that you can use to improve your communication skills? What is masculine communication? Before we dive into the specifics of masculine communication, let's first define what we mean by this term. Masculine communication is a style of communication that is typically associated with men, although it is not exclusive to men. Masculine communication is often characterized by being direct, assertive, and confident. It involves speaking clearly and concisely, getting straight to the point, and not being afraid to express your opinions and ideas. Masculine communication is also often associated with body language. It involves standing up straight, making eye contact, and using expansive gestures to convey confidence and power. In contrast, feminine communication is often characterized by being more indirect, nurturing, and emotional. This is not to say that one style is better than the other, but rather that different communication styles can be effective in different situations. Why is it important to communicate in a masculine way? There are many benefits to communicating in a masculine way. For one, it can help you establish yourself as a leader and gain respect from others. When you communicate directly and assertively, people are more likely to take you seriously and listen to what you have to say. This can be especially important in professional settings, where you may need to assert your authority or make important decisions. Communicating in a masculine way can also lead to better personal and professional relationships. When you speak confidently and express yourself clearly, you are more likely to be understood and avoid misunderstandings. This can lead to better communication and more positive interactions with others. Tips for communicating in a masculine way. Now that we've discussed the benefits of communicating in a masculine way, let's dive into some tips and strategies for improving your communication skills. Be direct and to the point. One key aspect of masculine communication is being direct and to the point. When you speak, get straight to the heart of the matter and avoid beating around the bush. This can help you avoid confusion and ensure that your message is received clearly. Speak with confidence. Confidence is a hallmark of masculine communication. When you speak, do so with conviction and authority. Use a strong and clear voice, and avoid speaking timidly or uncertainly. Remember, people are more likely to listen to and respect those who speak confidently. Avoid being overly emotional. While it's important to express yourself clearly and assertively, it's also important to avoid being overly emotional in your communication. This can include getting angry, defensive, or overly sentimental. Instead, strive to communicate in a calm and collected manner, even in emotionally charged situations. Don't apologize excessively. Apologizing is an important aspect of communication, but it's also important not to overdo it. When you apologize excessively, it can make you appear weak or unsure of yourself. Instead, be confident in your communication and apologize only when it's necessary and appropriate. Use clear body language. In addition to verbal communication, body language is an important aspect of masculine communication. Use strong, open body language to convey confidence and authority. Stand up straight, make eye contact, and avoid fidgeting or slouching. Use gestures and facial expressions to emphasize your points and convey your message. Practice active listening. Effective communication involves not only speaking clearly and confidently, but also listening actively. When someone else is speaking, give them your full attention and try to understand their perspective. Avoid interrupting or talking over others, and ask questions to clarify their message. Balancing masculinity and empathy. While communicating in a masculine way can be effective in certain situations, it's also important to balance this style of communication with empathy and sensitivity. This can be especially important in personal relationships, where emotional intelligence and empathy are key to building strong connections. One way to balance masculinity and empathy is to practice active listening and emotional validation. When someone is expressing their emotions, listen attentively and acknowledge their feelings. Use statements like "I can understand why you're feeling that way" or "that sounds difficult" to validate their emotions and show that you care. Another way to balance masculinity and empathy is to be mindful of your tone and language. While it's important to speak with confidence and authority, it's also important to avoid coming across as harsh or dismissive. Use respectful, and empathetic language, and strive to communicate in a way that shows that you value and care about the other person. In conclusion, communicating in a masculine way can be a powerful tool for establishing yourself as a leader and building strong relationships. By speaking with confidence and assertiveness, you can convey your message clearly and effectively. However, it's also important to balance this style of communication with empathy and sensitivity, especially in personal relationships. By practicing active listening, emotional validation, and respectful language, you can create a communication style that is both powerful and empathetic. So go forth and communicate with confidence, while also being mindful of the feelings and perspectives of others.